Welcome. Part 4 we're here on today. Today we're looking at force production, right? That's your go. We've already looked at absorbing that force. Now we've absorbed that force, we're going to reapply it in a different direction, get your next shot, get back to center wherever it may apply. So our first exercise is here. We're going to do something called a depth jump. We've already done the drop from the box, just absorbing the force. Now we're going to drop and we're going to reapply that through the ground, right? This is about elasticity from the muscles. You're coming down, absorbing all that force, and rocketing straight back up into the air. Again, we're trying to look at minimizing that ground contact time. Adjust it as you need to. You can increase your height and you can decrease your height. And I'll show you a way you can actually do it weighted as well if you want. So same thing, we're up here, just gonna step off, see if I can hit the ceiling. Okay, so that's your way that you can do it unweighted. Other way, you might wanna grab a couple of weights. And if we're gonna do it this way, we're gonna get to the bottom of the squat and we're gonna release these and jump up in the air. Watch your landing. So with these ones, we're going to drop off. We get to the bottom of the squat. We're going to drop our weights and then rock it up again. Make sure we get them off to the side a little bit. Try and make sure we get a safe landing. Okay, and you can pick it up again and off you go. And again, we're keeping these ones to about 6. Next one, just to work in with that, you'll be pretty puffed after there. So we're just gonna work on our anti-rotation again. We're gonna add something with our feet. We're gonna put a march on the spot. Here, we're not moving our hands this time, but we are moving our feet. So one side's gonna be much harder for you to maintain balance on, but we're going to do them both sides so it's pretty even. All right, knees up, nice and controlled. Just count 10, so 1, 2, or 1 on each side. We'll count up to 20. We'll turn around and face the other way. All right, now next we're coming into some lunges, okay? Now we've done these step forward lunges before as part of our warm-up, but the purpose of doing them here is, again, think we're producing force. So I'm going to step forward, absorb that through my lead leg and try and pop me back as quick as we can. Here, right, it's about that speed we come up off the ground. And remember, we want to be in a good 90-90 at the bottom as well. Whoops. Remember, we want to be in a good 90-90 at the bottom. We're going to go for 10 of these. Nice pace off the bottom. Try and explode, back up nice and tall. Cool. We're going to do 10 of those each side. Then we're going to hop on the ground. We're going to use our band and we're going to get into the glutes a little bit more. 9 times out of 10, most of the general population's glutes are pretty weak, so it's a good thing to sort of add some volume onto. We're going to grab our band and loop it around our feet. Then we're going to grab the one that's at the bottom and pull it up so they're together. From here, just gonna lay on our back and bring this over our knees. From here, it's pretty easy. I'm keeping my feet hip width apart and try and keep them reasonably straight as well. I'm gonna lay back, gonna drive from my hips up and down. Good. Squeeze and down. We're gonna get pretty high volume on these. We're gonna go for 20. Now with your bridges as well, it's really important to get that squeeze at the top because that's where you'll get those extra little bits of activation and that's where you really recruit the glutes. There's a little bit of hamstring on the way up prior to that. Keeping those feet nice and flat onto the ground as well. All the way up to 20. Unhook your band. One's going to be looser than the other one. That's the one that's around the top. over, pull the other one over, you're free. Third one in this sequence is we're just going to do a plank, which everyone's pretty familiar with. Just going to do 30 seconds, so you can set yourself a timer, put it in front of yourself so you can have a look and you know where you're at. Now, a lot of people will bring their hands together. I much prefer to have my hands apart, and I want to think about dragging my elbows this way, down the ground towards my hips. That'll help us sort out our shoulder blades. Your shoulder blade positioning is really important for a lot of your lifts. So, hands apart, pulling them down, squeeze our butt. We don't want this arch in our low back that I've got here. That's inactive glutes and inactive abs as well. Okay, so I want to pull on the front of my hips with my abs, and I want to push on the back of them with my butt. Now I'm in a pretty good plank position. We're going to start our 30 seconds. 30 seconds is a pretty long plank. You don't want to be doing it for time. You want to be doing hard, concentrated planks. As you can see, I'm kind of squeezing here, so my voice is changing a little bit. The idea is keep it short and sharp. If you feel like over 30 seconds is too long, you're falling apart, do 2 15 seconds. Way better than trying to force it through, and doing the worm while you're down there. Okay, we're going to do this lot 3 times through. So our last lot in this series, we've been generating a little bit of force already, and we're just going to bump up the activity level. So this last one's going to be a little bit more like a circuit, and a little less rest period, and a little bit lighter as well, a little bit less load. So in this circuit, these things are going to be a little bit closer to what you think you might experience in a game situation, but that doesn't mean that we can do them poorly. We want to make sure we execute them well in the training room, and then on court, no worries. So our first one, we're just going to be shuffling side to side. We're going to get a little bit of a squat, knees forward, butt back, right? Really important when we're moving, we want to try and keep our knees over our toes. We're not leading out here like this. You're going to have a bad time on that knee. So we want to shuffle here, right? So when we're going side to side, when we've got our timer going, it's going to look something like this. And back, right? So my feet will come out a little bit when I'm stepping, but I'm not loading like this. Cool, nice and stacked knees. Small steps, keeping that line is better than big fast steps where we come all out of kilter. Our second one, we're going to do just a shuttle run. Everyone knows a shuttle run. Hit your first cone, come back. Hit your second cone, come back. Hit your third cone, come back. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to make sure we're running backwards. And I really want you to try and think about striking with a different knee on that last step, because that's our deceleration and then that's our force generation as well. So we're going to come forward, strike, and then come back. Same thing again, I'm going to go left leg this time, strike, and then come back, right? Again, think about you getting out to get a shot and then you're getting it back into position. Absorbing that force and then reapplying it as quickly as you can. Now the third one in this little circuit is a wood chopper. You notice I've got a lighter band than I've done for the previous ones. Because we're doing these for time, it's more about getting a little bit of a sweat on. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with this, which means I want far less load. So I'm going to come out here, hands start out in front, and I'm just going to rip it to the right. Again, think about keeping your feet and hips straight. We're not driving with our whole body, right? We're still looking for that rotation through the spine. And that's the sort of speed you might want to see when you're doing these ones as well. So for this, we've just got 3 exercises. We're going to do 40 seconds each. For your wood choppers here, we're going to do 20 seconds each side. So whenever you set your timer and you put it down, pay attention, put it by your wood chopper, so you can pay attention to it. And we're going to have 20 seconds in between each one to change, 1 minute to recover. Minutes are a pretty long time, so as your fitness gets better, you might want to trim that down to about 30 to 45 seconds, okay? And we're going to do this one for 4 rounds through. Finish off getting a little bit of your heart rate up, get a little bit of a sweat on as well. So that concludes our 4th session and our on-ramp to your tennis fitness. A couple of things that you can use yourself to all put together and help improve your game. First of all, warm up. So easy to do and so few people do it. It's going to improve your mental game and your physical game as well. Couple of little things that we can work on for your mobility. There's lots of different avenues to take on that, but give it a try and see how that works for you. If it doesn't, let me know and we can find the things that do work for you. Then we've got that force absorption and force production, getting a little bit of your so-called fitnessy stuff going as well, but we really need to make sure we're building that pyramid well, okay? Once you've done those, you feel like you're pro at them, let me know, or if you've got any other issues that you need to look at, let me know, and we can see where you're going for the next step from here.